On today's highlights, federal government unveils mini-grid, plans additional 5 megawatts expansion. State police proposal enters final legislative stage. Plus, CBN reports 17.4 trillion naira surge in FG borrowing. Good afternoon. River State is the treasure base of the nation. Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Rstv PH. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. My name is EBERE, and this is the news at 3 today on Rstv. Inadequate healthcare infrastructure and lack of trust in the local healthcare system has been identified as some key drivers of medical tourism in Nigeria. In this report, Nnamdi Olimni examines factors responsible for medical tourism and efforts that should be made to reverse the trend.
Medical tourism in Nigeria is primarily an outbound phenomenon, with many Nigerians traveling abroad for medical treatment due to lack of confidence in the country's health system. Statistics has it that Nigerians spend over $2 billion annually on medical trips to the United Kingdom and India alone. A medical practitioner and the chief medical director of Meridian Hospital, Dr. Ikechukwu Odo, mentioned other factors responsible for medical tourism in Nigeria to include brain drain, cost and quality perception, shortage of manpower, and the demand for specialized treatment, particularly complex surgery operations.
One of the driving factors had been ignorance. The other is that syndrome of wanting to be like others. The brand movement. What is popular? What is common? What do people do? Many go because others are going. And of course, the third is a genuine desire to get from outside what people are not able to get back home.
Dr. Odo, however, pointed out some risks associated with medical tourism to include medical complications, legal issues, and financial burden, among others. On how to reverse the trend, he recommended investment in high-class healthcare facilities, public-private partnership, focus on local capacity, and policy awareness.
Back home, things are beginning to improve. Those of us who are staying back are doing our best to correct that impression, to improve quality, to improve standard, to improve efficiency, even though unfortunately it's been all self-effort. If you have a doctor who has the will, has the courage, has the creativity, and the commitment to productivity, and you enable him with finance and the economic and social regulation, he will touch the sky.
To reduce or reverse medical tourism in Nigeria, government should not only invest more in the health sector, but private sector participation should be encouraged by providing the enabling environment. Nnamdi Olimini, Rstv News.
A story building under construction along Dr. Peter Odili Road off Abloma Junction has collapsed, killing one person. Gaspar Nele, who visited the scene of the incident, reports that federal, state agencies and private companies were on ground to salvage the situation. His report.
On arrival at the scene of the incident, few posts away from the popular Abloma Junction, sympathizers were seen standing in groups discussing the issue, while some were also seen at the scene engaging in bricks business. However, machines were released by the state government and public companies to evacuate those trapped on the rubble. Eyewitness account says the building site belonged to a Christian denomination and believed to have sold it to an individual who converts it to a hotel. That the building under construction supposed to be about 3-story building, but the owner added more floors with substandard materials, leading to the sudden collapse. According to them, the incident occurred at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, and more than 10 persons were trapped under the rubble, particularly the workers and those doing wood business. They sued for collaborative efforts to save citizens and become brothers keepers. despite ethnic coloration.
Apart from here, this building that collapsed now, what was here before was Redeemed Church. It was downstairs. It's like they sold the place, then the owner, the man that bought it, start building. Yeah, they sold the place, and the person that bought it start building. From the information we were hearing concerning this structure, we heard that the person is building hotel. If you look at the pillar there, you see lifter. It's not up to 2 years they started building this thing. Surprisingly now, we heard this morning that the building have collapsed.
I would have been a casualty of this very problem today, but I thank God my son is alive. I have something to tell Nigerians. We need each other. The ambulance have taken them to the hospital. People are still there because they are on the roofing stage. So they brought more hands. So if care is not taken, we have up to 18 workers on site.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Rivers State, Dr. Vincent Wachuku, and the head Port Harcourt Operations National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Chidi Ogundo, spoke more on the incident.
You can see what is happening at the background. We got this information, and as a health team, we had to quickly mobilize the ambulances and as much personnel to come for the rescue. So far, they've been able to rescue 2 persons that were severely injured, and they have been rushed to Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. Of course, we have also activated the hospital waiting. They are there waiting. The emergency medical services is there. Then the emergency unit in the Arusut are also there. In fact, I've seen the head of department, Arusut.
And if you look at this side, you see another excavator coming. We've been able to use it to push the robots this side, and 2 victims has been rescued. We still have more people trapped. So this second excavator now is going to go through the other side. You see that tipper that is coming. So the first one here is going to be pulling all these robots there, so as to have space. Meanwhile, we from NEMA, we've been able to use our excavation machines to cut off all the rods that were holding those people there before they were rescued. So now the whole head of establishment, federal establishment, we have met, we've discussed, and we are trying to brainstorm to bring the best strategies to rescue the rest people.
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
The federal government has commissioned a 505 kilowatts interconnected solar mini-grid in EBERE, Lagos State, and flagged off the construction of an additional 5 megawatts mini-grid project aimed at expanding electricity access and boosting economic activities. The project, located in the Majoda communities of Erudo in EBERE local government area, is expected to provide reliable power to more than 8,000 residents across 5 communities. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Minister of Power Joseph Tegbe described the initiative as a demonstration of the government's commitment to renewable energy and rural electrification. He praised the Rural Electrification Agency for driving impactful energy projects nationwide, noting that more than 1,000 mini-grids are currently under development across the country. Tegbe said the EBERE solar project would not only provide electricity, but also create jobs, support local businesses, and improve education and healthcare services. The minister added that the project represents a fully integrated energy system combining solar power generation, battery storage, transmission infrastructure, and that the committee has made significant progress and is close to completing the first phase of its assignment. The committee, inaugurated by the House in February 2026, is reviewing all federal airport and seaport concession agreements executed between 2006 and 2025. The investigation seeks to assess compliance with contractual obligations, revenue remittances to government, and the impact of the agreement on infrastructure development. River State is the treasure base of the nation. Let's build and take it to greater heights. This is the task we must all accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Rstv. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. And now, still to come on the news, Zimbabwe Senate approves bill to extend presidential term. And in sports, bill to extend presidential term. And in sports, Morocco overpower Haiti 4-2 to roll into World Cup. 4-2 to roll into World Cup last 32. Details when we return. Stay with us.
Rstv, your source for authentic coverage. US on
YouTube Rstv,
US on
YouTube Rstv-PH, Facebook Rstv-PH, TikTok Rstv-PH,
and GoTV at channel 142.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt. Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Thanks for staying with us. And now the rest of the news. Business news now is up next. The Central Bank of Nigeria says credit to the federal government rose sharply by 75.6% in the 12 months ending May 2026, highlighting increased public sector borrowing despite tight monetary conditions. According to the CBN's latest monetary and credit statistics, total credits to the government climbed from 22.99 trillion naira in May 2025 to 40.38 trillion naira in May 2026, representing an increase of about 17.4 trillion naira. The report also shows that government borrowing grew by an additional 779.7 billion naira between April and May this year alone. Banking sector data indicates that commercial and merchant banks continue to channel significant funds into federal government bonds and treasury bills, favoring low-risk investment over lending to businesses. Meanwhile, credit to the private sector recorded only modest growth, rising from 80.59 trillion naira in April to 81.04 trillion naira in May. Economic analysts warn that the continued reference or preference for government debts could grow or crowd out private sector investment, limiting access to affordable credit for businesses and potentially slowing economic growth. The CBN is yet to release a detailed breakdown of private sector lending for the period under review. And on the foreign scene, Zimbabwe Senate has approved controversial constitutional amendments that could keep President Emerson Mnangagwa in office until 2030, paving the way for changes to become law. Senate President Mabel Chinomona announced that 75 senators voted in favor of the bill, while 4 voted against. The amendments include extending presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 to 7 years, effectively prolonging Mnangagwa's final constitutionally permitted term by 2 years. Another provision would transfer the power to appoint the president to parliament, replacing direct presidential elections. The ruling ZANU-PF says the reforms will promote political stability and ensure continuity of government programs. However, opposition groups and civil society organizations have condemned the move, describing it as a threat to democracy and a further consolidation of power by the ruling party. Opposition leaders vow to challenge the amendment in court, while human rights groups have raised concerns over alleged intimidation and harassment of critics opposed to the proposed changes. And now in sports, Morocco came from behind twice to defeat Haiti 4-2 in a thrilling FIFA World Cup Group C encounter in Atlanta on Wednesday, securing a place in the knockout stage. Haiti stunned the Atlas Lions with 2 goals, including an own goal by Moroccan goalkeeper Yassine Bono and a spectacular strike from Wilson Isidore, marking Haiti's first World Cup goals in 52 years. However, Morocco responded through Akraf Hakimi and Ismail Saibari to level the score before halftime. Second half goals from Saifian Rahimi and Gessime Yassine